Good evening, you're watching Primetime News on TV1 live and direct from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Jodabdin.
And I'm Mariam Ganavijaya. We start off with a look at the stories that make headlines tonight.
Sri Lanka and Japan reach bilateral agreement on debt restructuring. Ministers and MPs acquire houses from Viatpura, claiming damage during Aragala. Another list submitted to Parliament. Minister Bimal criticizes Ranil Wickremesinghe's Al Jazeera interview. Ferrari license claimant now in pieces.
Ferrari license එකක් තියෙනවා කිව්ව කෙනා Al Jazeera එකේ හැප්පිලා උඩු පට්ටංගලා තියෙන්නේ.
Supreme Court grants leave to proceed in fundamental rights case filed against 8 Newsfirst journalists in 2022. 8 senior superintendents of police transferred in latest reshuffle.
And on to those stories in detail. Sri Lanka has signed the bilateral amendment agreement with Japan International Cooperation Agency alongside the exchange of notes between the government of Sri Lanka and the government of Japan in relation to the external debt restructuring process. The ceremony was held at the Ministry of Finance in Colombo.
Sri Lanka's Ministry of Finance Secretary Mahinda Siriwardena and Japan's ambassador to Sri Lanka, Akio Isamata, signed the exchange of notes. Tetsuya Yamada, the chief representative of JICA, signed the bilateral amendment agreement on behalf of JICA. As part of the external debt restructuring efforts, these agreements mark an important step in the policy discussions led by the Official Creditors Committee. Japan is the first country among the members of the Official Creditors Committee to sign the exchange notes related to the debt restructuring process, which involves approximately $2.5 billion in loans provided by Japan to Sri Lanka.
I recall the exceptional leadership role played by the government of Japan through spearheading Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process by co-chairing the OCC alongside France and India. Their leadership, commitment and constructive engagement have been instrumental in helping Sri Lanka navigate the challenges of economic recovery. It is this spirit of cooperation that has enabled us to make meaningful progress towards restoring the stability of Sri Lanka. Japan has long been a steadfast development partner, one that has always stood by Sri Lanka in times of need. Through concessional loans, grants and technical assistance, as well as through the infusion of advanced technology, Japan has contributed significantly to the socio-economic development of our nation. Today's agreement is yet another example of that unwavering support. As we move forward, we affirm our commitment to prudent economic management and sustainable growth. We look forward to further strengthening this relationship with Japan, ensuring that our cooperation continues to yield long-term mutual benefits for both our countries.
Notes were just signed and exchanged between the government of Japan and the government of Sri Lanka to reschedule a part of the debts of the Sri Lankan government and Airport and Aviation Services Limited owed to JICA, Japan International Cooperation Agency. The signed agreement renews the repayment terms of the outstanding loans for Japanese ODA projects. Japan welcomes the official completion of the debt restructuring between the two countries by the agreement signed today. I appreciate the tremendous efforts made by the Sri Lankan side to come to this stage together with us. Today's agreement is timely and crucial in supporting the recovery and the revitalization of Sri Lanka's economy. The government of Japan hopes Sri Lanka will complete all the debt restructuring as soon as possible and steadily move forward on the path to further development.
The Secretary to the Ministry of Finance expressed confidence that the remaining bilateral debt restructuring agreements will soon be completed.
We have made significant progress with France and similar progress is being made with other countries. We are continuing discussions with 16 other members of the Official Creditors Committee, and these discussions are at various stages. We continue to monitor the situation and hope to complete these tasks as soon as possible. Although the public had to endure difficult impacts due to certain reforms, these steps are essential for Sri Lanka's recovery. We have already implemented the necessary reforms to begin recovering from the crisis, but this does not mean we can relax. We must safeguard the reforms we have made and continue to take steps forward with caution and careful attention.
තාම පරිස්සමෙන් සැලකිල්ලෙන් මේ ගමන යා යුතුයි කියන එක තමයි මගේ අදහස.
Deputy Minister of Housing T.B. Sarath revealed in Parliament today that a group of former ministers and members of Parliament have received houses in addition to compensation from public funds, claiming that their houses were damaged during the Aragalaya period. He made this revelation while participating in the debate on the ministry's expenditure heads.
Case file.
වියත්පුර මාවත නිවාස සංකීර්ණයේ මන්ත්‍රීන් සඳහා නිවාස ලබා දී. අරගලේ වෙලාවේ මන්ත්‍රීවරුන්ගේ නිවාස ගිනි තිබ්බට පස්සේ මන්ත්‍රීවරුන් 76 දෙනෙකුට කතානායකවරු.
The Speaker had signed an order for the provision of houses from the Viatpura Mawata housing complex to 76 MPs whose houses were set fire to during the Aragalaya period. There, the MPs had said that they were unable to pay the full value of the houses. There are 101 houses in Block B of this housing complex. 76 of them were allocated to these MPs. Let's assume that the value of the house during construction was 10 million rupees and that the value after construction is 20 million rupees. Then the total of 30 million rupees can be divided by 2 and 25% can be paid within 1 year and the rest over a period of 15 years. Other people should pay the entire amount in 1 year. Accordingly, Prasanna Ranatunga had paid 9.9 million rupees for the house allocated to him. The government incurred a loss of 11 million rupees. MP Muzammil has paid only 3.3 million rupees. The government incurred a loss of 10 million rupees there. MP Nimal Priyatissa had paid only 3.3 million rupees for the house allocated for him. That was a 9.9 million rupee loss for the government. The case is similar with MP Kamini Jailanda Waleboda. Only 3.3 million rupees was paid by him. The government incurred a loss of 9 million rupees. Former Speaker Mahinda Apabewardena has paid only 5.3 million rupees. The government incurred a loss of 16 million rupees there. Gamini Kulawangsha has paid only 4 million rupees. That is a loss of 12 million rupees for the government. Only 3.3 million rupees has been paid by Kumarasiri Ratnayaka. That made the government incur a loss of 9.9 million rupees. As for Ajit Nishanta Rajapaksha from Hambantota, he has paid only 4.2 million rupees. Look at what the former Deputy Speaker has done. That was a 12.6 million rupee loss for the government. Chintaka Malmaya Dune has paid only 4.2 million rupees. That is a loss of 12 million rupees for the government. MP Milan Sajid Jayatilaka has paid only 4.6 million rupees to the government. The government incurred a loss of 13 million rupees there. Shaminda Janaka Tisakuttiarachi has made a payment of 4.1 million rupees. That is a loss of 12 million rupees. The hero of the Ampara, Veerasinghe Devage Veerasinghe, he has only paid 4.2 million rupees. He made the government incur a loss of 12 million rupees. Asanka Sanjiva Navaratna paid only 3.3 million rupees. Because of him, the government incurred a loss of 9.9 million rupees. Bandara Herath has paid only 4.2 million rupees to the government. That is a loss of 12 million rupees right there. SM Chandrasena from Anuradhapura has paid only 4.6 million rupees. The government incurred a loss of 13 million rupees there. Devage Priyanta Ashoka paid 4.1 million rupees to the government, making the government incur a loss of 12 million rupees. We also have an attorney at law on the list, Premnath Chaminda Dolavatta. He goes to courts all the time clad in his cloak. He has paid only 4.1 million rupees. Because of him, the government incurred a loss of 12 million rupees. MP Musharraf and former Minister of Finance S.A. Semasinghe have paid 4.6 million rupees. That is a loss of 13.8 million rupees for the government. Shanta Bandara has only paid 4.1 million rupees to the government. He made the government incur a loss of 12.5 million rupees. There is not enough time to read read the entire list of the 76 politicians. Only 26 are here. I will table the remainder on the 26th of March.
මිලියන 4.1ක් ගෙවලා තියෙන්නේ. මිලියන 12.5යි ආණ්ඩුවට පාඩුයි. කියන්න වෙලාව නැහැ. 76ක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි 26යි අරන් තියෙන්නේ. ඉතුරු ටික මම මේකේ 26 සභාගත කරනවා.
අර ඇමතුමාට අපි දැනගන්න කැමතියි ඔයා අතතර ඉන්නවද කලින් වන්දි ගත්තු කට්ටිය?
මෙතන ඉන්න වන්දි ගත්තු අය.
ඒ කියන්නේ වන්දිත් අර
වන්දි මුදලුත් අරගෙන තියෙනවා. මේ අයගේ ගෙවල්.
Yes, some had obtained compensation. Some others had also claimed insurance. In addition, they had also acquired houses given to them by the government. This makes us wonder if they orchestrated this entire incident themselves. They have obtained compensation even for the windows that were damaged in the fires. A whole house had been obtained in exchange for these damaged windows. It is when these details are revealed that the opposition panics. At the time, the parliament and the cabinet had granted approval for the provision of compensation and houses in this manner. They had legalized the entire procedure. We have put an end to all of this. There are 76 houses that have been allocated. Only 26 have been obtained by these people. This has been stopped by now. We plan on taking legal action in this regard.
නතර කරලා තියෙන්නේ. තව 76ක් දෙන්න තියෙනවා 26 අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ. ඉතුරු ඒවා නවත්තලා තියෙනවා. මේකටත් අපි නීත්‍යානුකූලව කටයුතු කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
The Supreme Court today granted leave to proceed in the fundamental rights application filed on behalf of 8 journalists of MTV Channel Private Limited over the assault carried out against them on 9th July 2022.
Journalists Sarasi Piris, Varuna Sampath, Janitha Mendes, T. Sindhujan, Imesh Sutherland, W. Virakun, V. Chandran and Lahiru Madhushankarachi have been named as petitioners. The matter was taken up before a bench comprising Supreme Court Justices A.L. Shiran Gunaratna, Janak De Silva and Sampath Biabekun. The petitioners had named 8 respondents comprising the Inspector General of Police, Deputy Inspector General of Police, Senior Deputy Inspector General of Police, SSP Romesh Lianage, SSP Nizam Jamaldeen, the Attorney General and 2 other police officers. Leave to proceed was granted against all named 8 respondents. The 3-judge bench gave the order under the principles guaranteed in the Constitution of freedom from torture pursuant to Article 11, right to equality and freedom from non-discrimination pursuant to Article 12.1 and 12.2, right to freedom of speech and expression including publication pursuant to Article 14.1a, and the freedom to engage in any lawful occupation, profession, trade, business or enterprise pursuant to Article 14.1g. The matter was fixed for argument on the 29th of October. President's Counsel Udite Galaheva appeared on behalf of the petitioners with N.K. Ashok Baran, Damita Khanna Ratna and Muru Galaheva, instructed by Attorney Charika Wanigabaduge. Meanwhile, Leader of the House Bimal Ratnayaka responded to comments made by former President Ranil Wickremesinghe during his appearance on Al Jazeera's Head-to-Head program.
We must begin today's debate with some unfortunate news. A person who previously claimed to possess a Ferrari license has now been involved in a collision on Al Jazeera and is left completely shattered. It seems his reasoning has suffered significant damage, which explains the statements he is making these days. I believe the Ministry of Transport may want to express its regret for this unfortunate incident involving the individual who once claimed to have a Ferrari license.
The Head-to-Head program aired yesterday on Al Jazeera featuring Ranil Wickremesinghe. During the program, host Mehdi Hassan repeatedly questioned Ranil Wickremesinghe about the Batalanda torture camp and the Easter Sunday attacks, which have sparked widespread attention. Hassan accused the former president of being the principal architect behind the illegal detention, torture and murder of members of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna at a housing complex in Batalanda during the 1980s. Hassan referenced the Batalanda Commission report as evidence, and former BBC correspondent Francis Harrison contributed by displaying a copy of the report.
I'm flabbergasted. I mean, I have a copy of the report here. It says printed by the order of the government. I'm sorry, but there is a report.
However, throughout the discussion, Ranil Wickremesinghe repeatedly claimed that the report was never presented to Parliament and denied the allegations. Later yesterday, Ranil Wickremesinghe also convened a press conference where he claimed that his 2-hour-long remarks were not properly represented in the discussion. This was the reaction of opposition leader Sajid Premadasa.
මේ අල් ජසීරා නාලිකාවේ රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහ මහත්තයාගේ ඉන්ටර්විව් එකක් ගියා. බැලුවද ඔබතුමා?
මේ දවස්වල බජට් වැඩසටහනේ ඒකින්ද ඇත්තටම අපේ ආලය වැඩියෙන් යොමු වෙන්නේ කරුණු වලට. මම කොටස් වශයෙන් දැක්ක ඔය සමාජ මාධ්‍යවල
එතුමා දුක කියන මාධ්‍යයට ඇවිල්ලා එතුමා පැය දෙකක් ගත්ත ඉන්ටර්විව් එක පැයකට ඉක්කලා දාලා ගියා.
මගේ අරමුණ
දැක්ලා තියෙන්නේ කියන පොඩි කැලල.
ඒ බුදුමාන්ලට ප්‍රවෘත්ති වාර්තා කරන්නට අවශ්‍ය වොයිස් එකක් දෙන්න මම මෙතන ඉන්නේ. මම ඉන්නේ විපක්ෂ නායකවරයා හැටියට සමගි ජන බලවේගයේ නායකයා හැටියට රටට වැදගත් වන කාර්යභාරයක් ඉෂ්ට කරන්න. මම ඒක ඉෂ්ට කරනවා.
This is the reaction of the Frontline Socialist Party.
Back then, Chandrika wanted to protect Ranil's politics. Then after the Rajapaksas ousted Ranil Wickremesinghe came to power in 2015. Ranil Wickremesinghe called the Rajapaksas thieves. He claimed to have filed cases against all of them. However, half of those cases were withdrawn by the Attorney General's department. In some cases, the Attorney General's department did not even file charges. This clearly shows how a particular faction within the state has always protected each other. Behind the scenes, they all call each other friends and brothers. Currently, the National People's Power has 159 members in Parliament. A significant number of them are members of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna. They now have the opportunity to present the Batalanda Commission report in Parliament and implement its recommendations against Ranil Wickremesinghe. For years, this report was suppressed despite Ranil Wickremesinghe facing criticism in the international media over it. Now, the JVP has the chance to ensure justice is served. 8 senior superintendents of police have been transferred subject to the approval of the National Police Commission. Headquarters has announced that Senior Superintendent of Police PMKD Paliskara has been transferred from the Criminal Investigation Department to the position of Director of the Financial Crimes Investigation Division. Senior Superintendent of Police CB Madhavana has been transferred from the Ministerial Security Division to the position of Director of the Special Protection Range. Senior Superintendent of Police AA Edirimana, who previously served as the Director of the Human Rights Division, has been transferred to the position of SSP in charge of the Gaul Division. Other Senior Superintendents of Police who have been transferred include KGPB Samarapala, SMKC Tilakaratna, PG Darshana, LAD Ratnavira and KN Gunawardana.
The local government election Sri Lanka 2025.
All political parties are currently preparing for the upcoming local government elections.
Well, some parties are in discussions to form alliances, while others are conducting interviews to select candidates for the elections.
Today, the SLPP deposited bonds for 17 local government bodies in the Kaluthara district.
Bonds were deposited with SLPP General Secretary Sagar Karyavasam in attendance today.
We are facing this situation with great strength. The results will reveal everything because the people are deeply frustrated. Under these circumstances, we believe that the progressive citizens who truly love this country and aspire for its development and a better future will once again rally with us.
Former MP Vijaypala Hettiarachchi said at a press conference held at the SJB headquarters today that certain groups are working together with the opposition.
If this government thinks that it can continue to spread lies and deceive the people, it will clearly receive a verdict from the upcoming local government elections. Because now, the cooperative societies are also losing one by groups joining together and working with the opposition in the divisional secretariats. Even if we join together or not, even if we don't join as separate parties, even if we win the election by contesting separately, remember that when electing the chairman of the provincial councils and the mayors, we all join together as one group.
Deputy Minister Nalin Hevage made the following remarks.
The local government election is not a challenge for us. Those who saw this as a challenge were the ones who went to court, the judiciary and the election commission, especially to prevent the local government elections from being held. Throughout history, no political movement has ever been afraid of elections. But now, for the first time, we see an opposition that fears facing an election. In a way, that fear seems justified justified because the government has managed to win over a significant portion of the public within a short period. This year alone, 1,400 billion rupees has been allocated solely for capital expenditure, making the government the largest investor in the country. When the government takes these massive funds and directs them towards rural development, the opposition has no valid argument left to make.
A lorry driver has been remanded until the 21st of March after being arrested in connection with an incident in which an elephant was injured after being struck by the lorry.
The accident took place along the Habarana Maradang Kadabala road in Galapitagala and was captured on CCTV. The elephant, running alongside another, collided with a moving lorry. Authorities from the Habarana Police and Gane Valpola Wildlife have been unable to locate the injured elephant. During the investigation, an elephant tusk was found on the road and presented to the Kakirava Magistrates Court. While it is suspected that the tusk may belong to an elephant named Sumedha, whose habitat is in Minneria, this has yet to be confirmed.
The search for the elephant is currently underway in the Ritigala Strict Natural Reserve. 2 teams of officers are involved in the operation. Officers from both Kakirava and Ritigala have been closely monitoring this elephant recently. It is known to travel between Kaudulla and Ritigala, and its footprints are being tracked. However, the search has been delayed as other elephants have joined its path.
Meanwhile, a wild elephant was seen outside a house in Mahiyangana, where it was captured on mobile phone footage falling on the veranda.
A conductor from Norelia has been temporarily suspended for refusing to allow school children with season tickets onto a SLTB bus. Subject Minister Bimal Ratnayaka in Parliament today confirmed that an investigation had been launched into the matter.
The incident occurred when a group of children who were travelling from Ginigathena to Kadabala after a tuition class were forced off the bus by the conductor. The children were holding valid season tickets. The incident was recorded by a bystander and shared on social media. In response, Minister Bimal Ratnayaka in Parliament today confirmed that an investigation has been launched into the matter. The conductor has been suspended until the inquiry is completed.
There has been significant discussion on social media about this unfair treatment. As you know, we have made a decision that all children with season tickets must be allowed to board SLTB buses. We would like to inform you that the SLTB senior management has already suspended the conductor and a disciplinary inquiry has been initiated. As a ministry, we express our regret to these children. A few weeks ago, we made it clear that no child with a season ticket should be denied service. Unfortunately, despite this policy, this incident occurred. We sincerely apologize to the children involved.
Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali has ordered further remanding of 9 suspects involved in the shooting of Gane Mulle Sanjeeva until the 21st of March. The suspects face charges of aiding and abetting the murder as well as concealing evidence. They were arrested in connection with the high-profile case and were presented to the court remotely via Skype from the Busa prison due to ongoing security protocols.
Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali ordered the examination of bank account records of the main suspect's mother and brother and to send 25 case materials, including the revolver used for the shooting, to the government analyst for examination. The Colombo Crimes Division informed the court that the gunman and the suspect driver who assisted in his escape are still being held by the Colombo Harbour Police for further questioning. Officials said that statements have been recorded from 47 witnesses and and 25 case materials, including the revolver, have been identified. They also reported that the Human Rights Commission has been informed regarding the suspects currently being detained for questioning. Attorney Ajit Patirana, appearing on behalf of the main suspect, requested the court to ensure the suspect's safety. The counsel also urged the court to direct the investigating officers to follow the guidelines provided regarding the proper conduct while transporting the suspects for questioning as outlined by the Supreme Court. He provided a copy of the guidelines to the magistrate and the investigating officers at the Colombo Crimes Division. The guidelines specify that if the suspect is being transferred from one location to another for questioning, the entire process must be recorded on video.
Whose fault is this? Looks like someone didn't use Tokyo Superbond for tiling. Tokyo Superbond. Do it right the first time.
Welcome back to the news. President Anurakumara Dissanayake said the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation must become a significant contributor to the national economy. President Anurakumara Dissanayake emphasized the necessity of transforming the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation into a significant contributor to the national economy through efficient and productive investments. The President expressed these views during a discussion held today at the President's office with officials of the SLIC. The meeting included a comprehensive review of the corporation's current operations. The President emphasized that any financial losses incurred by SLIC would directly impact the public who have invested in it. The President therefore stressed the need for comprehensive management practices to enhance profitability and ensure its sustainability as a state-owned enterprise.
Newsfirst with the people.
The second International Conference on Geography for Global Sustainability, organized by the Department of Geography of the University of Colombo, was held this morning.
The Department of Geography at the University of Colombo organized the second International Conference on Geography for Global Sustainability today.
All distinguished personnel to the inaugural lesson who always mention geography.
Large proportion of advanced level students given up geography because of this very bad education policy in Sri Lanka, making 4 subjects into 3 subjects. So what is the achievement making that? That's what we have to assess. How many important subjects we have given up in advanced level, and who are the people we are creating without the subject knowledge like geography, languages, and the other sociology related social sciences. Now they don't have opportunity. They are concentrating only 3 subjects in depth, which is not good for decision making in the future, because in the advanced level where we have to train them. So in education, particularly primary education, secondary education, tertiary education, the biggest issue in Sri Lanka is we are not conducting training programs, teaching methodology development, new adaptation. So for example, if you go to Japan, within 2 years, they put it to Japanese language and take you, after 2 years, you will be same as Japanese, speaking Japanese language. But we are learning English from grade 1 to 12. We cannot pronounce, we cannot learn English as a foreign person. So what is the difference? Difference is, I think, the teaching technology, training, and the concentration of the transformation. So this is the lacking thing.
The conference was themed Geography for Resilient Communities under Global Environmental Changes. On to some developing news from overseas. President Donald Trump exempted Mexican and Canadian goods covered by the North American Trade Agreement known as USMCA from his 25% tariffs, offering major reprieves to the US's 2 largest trading partners. Trump signed orders Thursday paring back the tariffs which are related to illegal immigration and fentanyl trafficking until April 2nd.
President Donald Trump yesterday signed executive actions that delay for nearly 1 month tariffs on all products from Mexico and Canada that are covered by the USMCA Free Trade Treaty, a significant walkback of the administration's signature economic plan that has rattled markets, businesses and consumers. The executive actions follow a discussion Trump held yesterday with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and negotiations between Canadian and Trump administration officials. Trump wrote on Truth Social yesterday after a phone conversation with the Mexican president, quote, "After speaking with President Claudia Sheinbaum of Mexico, I have agreed that Mexico will not be required to pay tariffs on anything that falls under the USMCA agreement," unquote. He said the tariffs would be delayed until 2nd of April. The USMCA is the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement negotiated by Trump during his first term that makes the 3 North American countries a free trade zone. Sheinbaum, on a post on X, thanked US President Donald Trump for a respectful discussion about the tariffs he imposed. Sheinbaum said that virtually all of Mexico's trade with the United States is included in the US-Mexico-Canada agreement. However, a White House official on a call with the press added some nuance to that argument. About 50% of imports from Mexico and 36% of imports from Canada are covered under the agreement, the official said, but many more items such as avocados are generally not covered because of the high cost of compliance. However, those items that technically are not in compliance with the USMCA have in effect been treated at customs as if they were or they weren't subject to tariffs.
In other world news, the discovery of an unexploded bomb dating back to World War II severely disrupted traffic to and from Paris's bustling Gare du Nord, the world's 3rd busiest train station.
French police closed train traffic to and from Paris Gare du Nord station today after an unexploded World War II bomb was found on tracks leading to the terminal. The bomb was found on the tracks during overnight works. Media said the discovery was made in the area of Saint-Denis, a suburb of Paris. The Eurostar and all other trains were halted as police worked to disable the device. Eurostar said on its update that due to an object on the tracks near Paris Gare du Nord, we are expecting disruption to our services this morning. The train companies said passengers could exchange their ticket for free to travel at another date or time in the same class subject to availability. On to sports news. Day 2 of the 146th Battle of the Blues encounter between Royal College Colombo and St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia took place in Colombo today. Day 2 of the 146th Battle of the Blues encounter between Royal College Colombo and St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia took place at the SSC grounds in Colombo. Batting first, Royal College declared the inning at 319 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. St. Thomas's College started Day 2 on 32 runs with no wickets lost, with openers Jaden Amaravira and Avinash Fernando both at the crease. St. Thomas's College lost their first wicket for 69 runs. Avinash Fernando gave the Thumians a healthy start, scoring 50 of 104 deliveries. Dineth Gunawardena anchored the innings for St. Thomas's College, scoring 119 runs of 165 deliveries. At the end of Day 2, St. Thomas's College were bowled out for 302 runs. The MTV MPC Media Network is the media sponsor for the Battle of the Blues for the 16th consecutive year.
The iconic Viceroy's special coal train has arrived in Gaul, bringing a group of excited tourists from England.
And as always, we wrap up the news with happy headlines.
Good night.
Good night.
Happy headlines.
The Viceroy Special has made a grand arrival in Galle, bringing a group of tourists from England. The historic train, known for its 19th century design, has become a unique way to attract visitors to Sri Lanka. Equipped with classic features like a restaurant and an observation car, the Viceroy Special offers a nostalgic journey through the country's scenic landscapes. The train's first journey took place on the 2nd of February 1986, and it has since become a popular attraction for both locals and international travelers. The tourists aboard were visibly delighted with the experience, appreciating the charming atmosphere and beautiful views of Sri Lanka's countryside.